Welcome. I appreciate you guys for tuning in to another stream. Again, our motto, business as usual. Just keep it, gonna keep my head down, keep it going. Whoever rocks with me, hopefully they hang around. Whoever is here hating, hopefully they, at least try to give us a chance at one point, right? It's all good. Either way, we're just gonna keep doing our thing. Now, kind of got an interesting stream for you guys today because not everything is about hip hop, right? Actually, I'm starting with a non-hip hop topic, honestly, because this was a topic that I don't know. I've been kind of like heavily interested in. Again, we're not getting heavy into politics and nothing like that, but we do see how just regular life shit kind of bleeds into some type of political ties or affiliation, or at least like narrative at a point. Don't know if you guys seen this. This was like very shocking. This happened like really late at night. Obviously, like with all due respect, and I want to watch my words. I know niggas do like to twist my words. It's all good. Usually I'm used to seeing this type of shit in like some other country where we don't know how to pronounce their name, but we usually don't see plane crashes in America. Okay. Obviously sometimes you'll hear malfunction with the plane didn't land right. But we don't hear head-on collisions. We don't hear planes just bursting into flames. Like I seen did y'all see that one in Brazil? Yo, again, I'm gonna just say trigger warning right now for anybody who's watching this. Trust me. I tell y'all about my severe anxiety these days when I get on planes. Like really, it's very severe anxiety. A lot of it came from watching a few, like, I don't know if you ever watch this guy right here. I watched this dude right here. This dude right here, because low-key, eventually I want to get my pilot license. But truth be told, I watched so many of his fucking videos that when I get on a plane, I'm overthinking it. And the thing is, when you get on a plane as a passenger, you're helpless. You don't know what's going on. I watched his channel at first to kind of understand how planes worked. But later on, I started to like just watch all these videos about severe tragedies that then had me just overthinking. So I think it added to my anxiety. Anyway, nonetheless, yeah. Did y'all see it was like Brazil? There was one in Brazil. Shit was crazy. It was like Buenos Aires or something. Brazil plane fall out of sky. This shit was crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know if y'all seen this shit right here. This shit was bananas. It was essentially, again, trigger warning. This motherfucking plane just fell out the fucking sky. Like, and I ain't gonna lie, that shit fucked me up. I was like, what the fuck? This shit just fell out the damn sky. Now,
we are learning that a small passenger plane has crashed in a...
Okay, it's actually a bunch of videos of this. And by the way, rest in peace to everybody who perished in this. This happened in Brazil. I don't want to show you, but there was a huge explosion. But we don't really see many. I want to say on the Western Hemisphere, we don't see many plane crashes. Bro, I was very much surprised. Unless we're talking about some terror shit, right? But I was very much surprised when I saw the video of the plane crash that happened at Ronald Reagan Airport in D.C. Now, if you guys haven't seen this has been like pretty much the biggest news that occurred. There was a commercial flight that was landing at Ronald Reagan Airport in D.C. And while it was landing, okay, I don't know if you guys know how planes work. Like there ain't somebody real. I mean, there kind of is, but it's not a nigga just like, wheel. It don't happen like that. Like literally these planes get locked into like a flight pattern. There's a thing on the ground. Like back in the day, niggas really had to land a plane. These days, the pilot just has to get the plane into like this. It communicates with a signal on the ground. And as long as the pilot just oversees the plane to get there, the plane descends at the right speed. It's pretty much what I'm trying to say is autonomous. Like it kind of happened without the human possibility of error, right? So if you're ever in an airplane, your plane is going to land and it's not because some niggas like all of that shit you see in the plane is cap. You feel what I'm saying? Obviously the pilot is very much involved because not every time things go well. Sometimes it could be speed, weather, wind, other things that are affecting the plane. Sometimes they have to do some manual shit. But for the most part, if you don't know, for example, a flight path and also landing in particular is usually kind of taken over or at least there's a lot of electronic communications happening between the tower on the ground and also the plane that kind of allows the plane to land very seamlessly. Thousands of planes land every day, not only the U.S., but obviously the world. We never see any problems, right? However, it appears that this was a passenger plane that was carrying a good amount of professional figure skaters, including some people who figure skated for the USA team. They were landing, and apparently there were some people from Russia figure skating team as well. You know, it was only like the plane could hold 78. There was 61 people, I believe, on board. And I'm going to show you again, trigger warning, please, trigger warning. I'm not trying to make nobody feel upset or whatever. But essentially what happened, I'm going to try to like kind of point this out. This was a camera from the Kennedy Center. Essentially, I believe, the crash was over here. You see the bright illumination, and essentially the plane is going here, and then a Black Hawk. Now, again, as I said, there's a commercial plane flying, but then there's a military plane. Now, I've been trying to do my research on it. We haven't exactly gotten clear word from the Pentagon or whatever. Usually commercial airspace is pretty protected. Even if you're someone who has a pilot license, because trust me, I looked into all this. Like, you can't even fly your regular plane into like a commercial airspace. For example, like a big airport, right? You can't just fly into Atlanta airport airspace unless you already plan to land there, and also unless it's a super emergency, because they have a whole system going over there, right? Anyway, this goddamn helicopter, which is a military helicopter, essentially just flies directly into this plane that's descended. So a plane is kind of descending, but it's descending slowly, and the helicopter flies right into it and just crashes. Again, you'll see it really quickly here, I believe. Ruger Red, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. You're going to see the crash in the background here. Look, you see right here, this is the Black Hawk. So you can't really see and by the way, I believe the Black Hawk, I don't know if anybody has military experience here. You guys could probably be better versed in letting me know about that type of aircraft in the sense of helicopter for the military. I think it's also like one of those low profile, because it's meant to be for military. It's not like, when you see these commercial airlines flying, they want you to see them, right? The military, when they're flying, they don't want you to see them. So this is kind of low profile. Yes, they do have, they of course have lights, because when you're in the air, these airplanes have to have lights. But the reason why you're only seeing blinking lights and you're not seeing the aircraft, not only is it like painted the color of the sky, pretty much, it's supposed to be low profile, right? So you see a blinking thing, and then you're going to see the crash, right? You see it going closer, 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 crash. You know what I'm saying? There's multiple other videos that came out after that. This is a video of the rescue. So exactly what happened is that the plane crashed, and both aircrafts, not only was there an explosion, but both fell in the river. I mean, obviously, it looks like maybe up to 70 people may have died, but still, what's very also important is that, I don't know if y'all ever been in a plane and look out the window when it's landing. Nigga, I'm looking at 55 highways, 35 buildings. I'm like, what the hell? Nigga, I'm like, nigga, we about to land on a skyscraper? So, an airplane flies over mad shit. By the grace of God, and, of course, we don't want nobody to pass away, but the both airplanes that crashed, it could have fell onto a highway that was busy and caused ultimate amount of damage with pileups, broken bridge, all that type of stuff. Instead, both of the aircrafts fell into the water, which, obviously I'm pretty sure that's going to spark some type of conspiracy theories as well. But nevertheless, this was a rescue mission. They were trying to look for people and survivors in the river. I haven't heard of any survivors yet. And yeah, you see, they're, I mean, you say airplane is one of those like interesting things when you're on it. Like, you ever be on an airplane and they're like, hey, this is the safety precaution video. Make sure you watch this. Seatbelt. In the case of an emergency, this shit's going to drop. Put it over here. Help yourself before you help someone. They say all this good shit. And then you kind of thinking like, why the hell we even got this shit on? If this shit really go down, it's a wrap. You know what I mean? Like a car crash, I get it with the seatbelts and the airbags. Man, in a plane, man, listen. You ever heard the term "let Jesus take the wheel"? Well, trust you need Jesus to take the wheel at that point. You feel what I'm saying? Okay. Bet. So, the American Airlines CEO did speak for a while, but I do want to show it. There's a better video of the crash, and I'm not trying to freak you out loud or nothing like that. There's a slightly better video. There's a slightly better video. I think, yeah, this is the video right here.
That will be critical. It is time.
Where is the video? Are they going to show it?
Oh. Higher than it from the meeting. Not same area that they won.
Called upon aspects of the job, and you put that on hold.
And breaking overnight, CNN has exclusively obtained 2 new videos offering a more direct angle and vantage point of the midair tragedy between the American Eagle's flight and the Black Hawk helicopter. A warning, these videos are difficult to see as we are also learning more about the 67 lives that were lost in this collision. This morning, the New York Times is reporting that the helicopter may have been flying outside of its approved flight path.
Yo, am I tripping?
And higher than
somebody said I wasn't reading chat. What did I miss?
Should have been. We'll get much more to that. Let's get to the videos. The first video we want to show you, the bright light that you see.
Okay, yeah, I think this is the clearest video. So apparently this is a flight path, and from my research about the flight paths of landing, you know, at this airport, this like pretty much, I guess maybe because I live in Jersey and there's a highway, like it's the Garden State Parkway that runs right adjacent to the airport. If you ever know, like planes ain't landing at random spots, like it's very organized. They usually line up. Usually when they get close to the area, they do a circular motion and get in line. One plane lands, and if you're ever driving and you're seeing it, you're going to see one plane, 2 planes, like you'll just see them lined up. So they all come down via the same damn path. You get what I'm saying? So apparently this has been a flight path of landing, depending on the orientation of either wind and weather conditions and also the runway, for at least like 25 years. So this is like a very known flight pattern or landing pattern. And you see the Black Hawk here.
At the top is the American Airlines jet.
And I ain't gonna lie to you, we're probably being too much of a, you know, you're being Monday morning quarterback. Because I'm looking at that, I'm like, bro, you couldn't go up.
Flight path, the helicopter flying.
So yeah, he T-bones the goddamn plane.
Directly into the frame.
And then you see, this looks like the plane here.
Directly into the plane. Both aircraft immediately
no, this looks like the plane.
Crashing down into the Potomac River.
Yeah, wow. This
the runway. Then you see the helicopter flying directly into the frame.
Yeah, this is a helicopter here. And then it looks like the plane then kind of just...
And directly into the plane. Both aircraft immediately then crashing down into the Potomac River. The second video, it appears to be surveillance video from the airport and showing the very same.
I know everybody keeps saying, my bad, ice, that this plane was flying mad long, like it wasn't trying to move, but I don't know, man.
Helicopter moving along the river as the plane approaches the runway at DCA, and then the collision and the explosion and into the Potomac River.
Wow. Real quickly, I seen Donald Trump speak about it, and let me see. Trump addresses plane crash. And I ain't gonna lie, like y'all do know, Trump my mans. But I'm gonna be honest with you. Yo, Trump gotta chill a little bit. That's my mans though, but he gotta chill. Trump is like instantly made this a political thing, basically saying that the hiring practices and standards of the FAA in terms of like, air traffic controllers. He didn't blame pilots. Air traffic controllers led to where there are a lot of people that are damn near, he basically was saying some slow niggas, like basically like, some people who ain't that smart that's controlling the planes. And he's like, this is a serious job. We shouldn't be having no DEI type of, oh, okay, like, all right, you got down, like, you know what I mean? So he went mad political, which I don't think that was the move, but He don't give a fuck. Here it is.
Years and to watched as things like this happen, and they say, well, we're always investigating, and then and they are working tirelessly to. You remember that only the highest aptitude.
Yeah, watch this guy, man.
Also, immediately appointing an acting commissioner to the FAA, Christopher Rocheleau, a 22-year veteran of the agency, highly respected. Christopher, thank you very much.
So he had just like appointed a new FAA guy.
Appreciate it. We must have only the highest standards for those who work in our aviation system. I changed the Obama standards from very mediocre at best to extraordinary. You remember that. Only the highest aptitude, they have to be the highest intellect and psychologically superior people were allowed to qualify for air traffic controllers. That was not so prior to getting there. When I arrived in 2016, I made that change very early on because I always felt this was a job.
Okay, so essentially basically goes on, I don't know if you know what DEI is. It's basically, what is it? It's like inclusion and what? DEI? It means diversity, equity, and inclusion, right? I think this kind of took away, you know, they used to have almost, what was the thing what was it called before? Where basically you just had to hire some niggas, man. You had to keep it at least, hire some women, hire some niggas. You can't have all white men in every spot. Then they changed it to DEI, whatever. Now Trump is like, let's get this junk on out of here. We're just going to get the best people for the job. We don't care what they look like. And, you know, whatever about that. But I will say, this nigga Trump tweaking a little bit, and somebody says stop pandering. Yeah, I know I rock with Trump, but it doesn't matter. I could still say if he's tweaking out on, he's trying to even throw it in the air that the people who are hired for air traffic controllers may not be the smartest. That's why this happened. And okay, let's say we believe him because he's the sitting president. He goes to a Q&A later on, and I don't know if I'll be able to find it. And somebody says, well, should we be scared to fly on planes? You know what this nigga says? Oh, no, y'all should. No. Hey, if you're saying there's stupid niggas that is controlling the planes, that's why planes are crashing, tell us stop flying till you get rid of the stupid niggas. That's all I got to say. You can't have it both ways. So, you know, again, I'm just a regular civilian, a citizen. I do rock with Trump, but he can't speak out both sides of his mouth. He's saying plane crashes is happening because there are stupid people who are diverting the plane to the ground. Okay, cool. Let's say we believe that. Then later on, they ask him, well, should American people be scared of flying given that this happened? He said, nah, they shouldn't. Brother, you should tell us to stop flying till you fire the stupid people. If it's stupid people that's doing it. That's all I'm saying, okay? Anyway, it's actually, you know, and I hate that they kind of brought this to a political thing about DEI and, you know, qualified people, this, that, and third. I think that's all a political ploy to kind of get his agenda going off, but it is what it is. But I did want to start with that. I think that was a, you know, crazy tragedy, which I don't think we usually see on this side of the hemisphere, okay? All right, somebody says leverage. That's what y'all think it is? By the way, Rumble, I've been reading y'all chats more often. Okay, let me get King Akademiks loaded up on here as well. Let's go with y'all on here.